Hi there, students. Where the rubber meets the road, where the rubber hits the road. Okay, this is a metaphor talking about the business end of something, the bit where you actually discover if something works. So, for example, you spend years at school and university learning about different theories, but you don't learn anything practical until you actually go to work. And when you start your first job, that's where the rubber hits the road, the rubber meets the road. You actually start doing things. It's the moment of truth. You can train as an athlete, you can train, or as a team, you can train and train and train. But where the rubber meets the road is when you actually start to play against real opposition. Okay, the government have promised to bring in legislation to solve this problem, but I would like to discover if the rubber will meet the road or not. Yeah, I think it's possible that this is just a promise they've made and that the rubber will never meet the road. They won't actually do what they've promised to do. You could design a new product. You could do a lot of research about a new product, but until the rubber meets the road, until the product is actually being sold, you won't know if it's going to be successful or not. So this is where something is put to the test, where the viability of something is put to the test, where the work that somebody has put into something is tested. Where the rubber meets the road, when the rubber meets the road. So this car is, I've only ever driven it on proper roads, but it's supposed to be a four-wheel drive off-road vehicle. And I guess if I take it off-road, that's where the rubber hits the road, where it actually shows if it works or not. And this is the idea of where the rubber hits the road, where the rubber meets the road. Okay, it's talking about when a plan is implemented or something that you're trying to achieve, you discover if it's actually going to work or not. So, yeah, the government could introduce new laws. And that's the moment where the rubber meets the road and you discover if these new laws actually work or not, or maybe people are going to find a way round these new laws. Okay, so the rubber meets the road, the business end of something, when things really start to happen, where the action begins, where you really begin your job, where you see the reality of something. It's where something gets really serious, where theory suddenly becomes reality, where an idea or a theory is put to the test. So yes, he's built himself a boat, but will it float? When he puts it in the river, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's when the rubber meets the road. That's when the real thing happens. That's the reality. Okay, it's where it's the point where theory starts to no longer matters, because now you're being practical, you're being serious about something. This is where the rubber meets the road, where the work really happens, where actual progress is made. I'm thinking as well that maybe in a company where on the factory floor This is where things are actually made. That's where the rubber meets the road, where the thing is actually made, where it actually goes, where theory is put into practice. So, formality. I'm going to give it a 4.5 in formality. Use informally, using a semi-formal conversation, using a semi-formal writing, but stop there. And the idea is the rubber on a tyre, where it gets in contact with the road, that's where the car actually moves or not. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating. You could put your English into practice by talking to a native speaker. That's where the rubber meets the road. Subscribe to my channel and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Where the rubber hits the road.